I'm Dana Jensen with Woodlands Tax. We work really hard to save our clients money. If I can answer some questions for you, I'd love to do that today. Many people think that if they're in the 22% income tax bracket, that all of their income is taxed at 22%. That's not the case. We actually use a tiered tax system where the first part of your income is taxed at 10%. And then the next layer of income is taxed at 12%. And then the next layer is taxed at 22%. There are 3 more levels above that. So if you're in the 22% income tax bracket, every next dollar that you spend gets taxed at 22%. If you're in the 35% bracket, every next dollar that you make gets taxed at 35%, which makes having a tax strategy all that more important. Oh my gosh, there are so many. Some easy ones that often get overlooked is your 401k contribution. You can put up to $20,000 a year in your 401k, and it's all deductible off of your W-2 income. This is money that you can put in your savings, and defer that income to be taxed at a later date, or you can make a Roth contribution, pay the taxes now, and then that money grows tax-free for as long as you have it. Another example of a deduction would be your property taxes, or your medical expenses, or your charitable contributions. All of those can be itemized and oftentimes result in significant savings depending on your circumstances. Tax deductions reduce your taxable income. In other words, the dollar amount on which your tax is calculated. So for example, let's say you have $50,000 of income and you have $10,000 of deductions. That leaves $40,000 that your tax would be calculated on. Credits work differently from that. So if on $40,000 of income, you have $4,000 of taxes, and you have a $2,000 tax credit, that actually reduces the amount that you have to pay by the amount of the credit. So that $4,000 would be reduced to $2,000. There's a lot of them. Certainly the earned income tax credit is one of them. There's a residential energy credit that Congress put in place at the beginning of 2023, basically offsetting the entire cost of a home energy audit if you want to get one of those done on your home. Any energy efficient improvements that you make on your house are eligible under the credit, subject to limitations, of course. There's a credit for energy efficient vehicles, not just EVs, but hybrids as well. Of course, there are limitations around that too, but that's money that can save you on the purchase of an energy efficient vehicle. I think that marriage, divorce, they can change your tax bracket. Children can make you eligible for certain tax credits. If you're moving to the US, moving into the Woodlands from out of state, all of those have significant income tax implications. I think the loss of a loved one can create unexpected tax consequences as well, sometimes in the form of an inheritance. Well, I mentioned one already. One of the most important tax moves that you can make is understanding your tax bracket and how Contributing to your 401k or an IRA, either on a traditional or a Roth basis, can create not only tax savings, but tax deferrals, and in some cases create tax-free income in the future. It's probably one of the most important tax moves for anyone to consider. For our clients who are independent contractors or self-employed, they oftentimes don't understand the implications of a self-employment tax. So when you're a W-2 wage earner, your employer pays half of your Social Security tax and you pay the other right out of your paycheck. For those who are self-employed, they pay self-employment tax independent of their income tax. So they're paying it, and it's 15.3% for everybody. Oftentimes I see those who are self-employed not setting enough money aside to cover the cost of both their income tax and their self-employment tax. And it's better to overpay your estimates than to be underpaid, because the consequences for underpayment penalties and interest is much more consequential than it has been in the past. Well, we try to help everyone that we can. We're here to not just help you be compliant with the tax code, we're really your advisor. Our job is to try to save you money. Sometimes we can do that when we put your income tax return together. More often, we're able to do that when we can sit down with you and craft some tax strategies or tactics that you can make in the year ahead, so that when you get to the end of the year, you've actually reduced your tax burden. That's our goal. You can reach out to us via email through our website, and you can call our office number or connect with us on social media. We're Woodlands Tax, your advisors, your accountants, and your advocates.